Hi everybody, back after a quick break. Just as I was putting up the holiday series in December, my mother was hospitalized. So of course, when something like that happens, you need to stop and make sure your people are okay. And she's doing great now. She's back to her old self, and I can barely find her at times because my mother's always on the go. But I was able to come back just in time enough to give you guys some Super Bowl recipes. And I put a question out on Facebook asking everybody what they wanted to see for some Super Bowl recipes. Now the answers I got back was pulled pork sliders and hot wings. And so I did those, and I threw in a little extra recipe for you too I think you'll enjoy. The pulled pork sliders, we're going to do some slow roasted pulled pork, marinated in these great ingredients. You're going to love them. Of course, root beer is one of them. Some hickory smoked. Really easy to do. It's not too stressful, and I know that you guys enjoy recipes like that. So this is what we did. I hope you like it, and take a look. Alright guys, let's get going by creating our rub for the pork butt, aka pork shoulder. We've done this before. We're going to use Grand Diamond Original all-purpose seasoning as a base. On top of that goes ground mustard, garlic, chili powder, and then we're going to add some onion powder, and we're just going to give that a good mix. I'm also going to add a little bit more kosher salt. We have a little bit of kosher salt in Grand Diamond all-purpose seasoning. However, I'm just going to add some more because this meat is going to cook for some time, and we do want this 4 pounds of pork to be seasoned really well. I'm just going to turn around and put some olive oil in my Dutch oven there before I get my hands all full of pork. And just to let you know, these recipes and the seasoning can be found at gdseasoning.com. I'm going to provide the links below so you don't get lost. Stick in there with me. This is going to be good. Continue to season all of your pork shoulder. Don't forget any spots. Cover it all. Use all of the seasoning. Once we're done seasoning all of the meat and giving it a nice rub, we're going to sear it in a nice hot cast iron Dutch oven. Just going to pick it up, give it a listen. Browning your meats first always helps bring out the natural sugars, gets the cooking process started, and adds another layer of flavor. Just can't skip this step. Next, we're going to deglaze the pot with some chicken stock just to help us scrape up those bits that are on the bottom. After all, that's flavor too. Then I'm going to follow up with some root beer. Believe it or not, using root beer not only adds a sweetness, but it helps the meat break down during the cooking process. If you don't have root beer, don't worry about it. Use some Coca-Cola or Pepsi. This pulled pork is well on its way to greatness. I'm just going to add just a dash of liquid hickory smoke because we're not going to be putting this on the grill. So we just want to add a little bit of that smoky flavor to it because it's going to be cooking in the oven for a while. Have that taste of outside grilling. And we're just going to cover it. And in the oven it goes. This pork comes out absolutely beautiful. It falls apart literally. Just look at that. You can take 2 forks and fork it apart, or you can just take your hands and break it apart just as easy. When it cools off, of course. Be sure and add some of the pot juices that the meat cooked in. It adds a great flavor and sweetness, and you won't have to use as much barbecue sauce. Now for me personally, I'd be ready to put some of that pork right on the bun. But I know some of you like slaw, so I made some earlier and I'm going to include the recipe below. All you need is the fresh cabbages, some great dressing, and you got yourself a coleslaw. I added some of my own bourbon barbecue sauce to my pork, and I'll give you that recipe also. Now for the sake of time and maybe not feeling rushed, you might want to do the pork and the coleslaw the day before. That way on game day, all you have to do is assemble the sliders and put your coleslaw right on top. I hope you guys enjoy these recipes as much as my family has. For these recipes and a heck of a lot more, go to gdseasoning.com, and I'll see you next time.